Hi everyone, welcome back to this channel. In this episode we have something more interesting and I hope you will enjoy it. Here we can see the preview and after that the unboxing. Feel free to pause the video every time you need. In this shot we can see some of my sizes in other sneakers and a closer look with this label. We can see both shoes and we start with the left foot. As you can tell, here we gonna find a very nice midsole, proper size, and I have big hopes for this pair. By seeing the size of this midsole, obviously I'm hoping to find a very good kind of cushioning in these sneakers. Basically every sneaker that has over 30 millimeters in the forefoot for me is having a good start in having a good cushioning, obviously. These sneakers are made for trail. In my opinion, they don't look as noticeable like others do. I only wish they were having more colorways to choose because they have only 3 right now here in Spain. Hopefully in the future they will come with some neutral colors to have few more options. This pair is my first pair that I buy from this company. This is the first time I'm trying a product from them, so let's see how they are. So far for 150 euros or dollars, I find them very well made, and for me it's a nice surprise to see this amount of quality for this price. As you can tell, the knit is reinforced with some rubberized material and the pattern is not as flashy as you might see in other similar trail sneakers. From my point of view, I wish they were even less flashy. A way to do that is that having those hexagonal shapes in less contrast color, for example. As I said before, I feel that the quality on the sneakers is pretty good, I would say. The materials feels nice to the touch. We can find these sneakers for men's and women's also. And a very interesting thing, I read that here in Spain we can use them for 90 days and if we don't like them we can send it back free. So that's amazing, to be honest. In this shot we can see the sole. I think this sole is almost perfect, to be honest. I mean, we can see the thickness of those lugs and that's impressive, to be fair. It's normal to have big lugs when they are trail sneakers. Please notice here the nitrogen injection. Well, that's something very important for this midsole, and I can tell that having that gas inside, it does makes a big difference. But more of that in few minutes. Here we can have a better look of these lugs. As you can tell, 60 millimeters is quite something, so I really appreciate to see something as good as this sole. Checking here these sneakers with my thumb, I wasn't too impressed, to be honest. The softness is not as good as Ultra Boost, for example. In this shot we can see the insole. It's not something very fancy, it's just a normal insole. The softness is not crazy, it's good, but it's not something very unique, you know. The footbed material reminds me of the one that we can find in New Balance fresh from 1080 or more V3, for example. It looks kind of the same. And to be honest, I like it because it's not as rigid as in other Adidas models that we've seen so far. At least this one, it has a soft foam, although it's not perforated like I wish it was. In this shot we can see the right foot because we want to check both of them to see if the quality is consistent, and I can tell you that I didn't have any issues, at least with the pair that I received. I decided to add this part because I wanted to show you a bit better how thick is that midsole, and just to give you a better idea. By the way, here the sound is a bit amplified by the closer microphone that is on the camera. The layer of foam that covers the footbed is soft, but under that layer is not too soft. We can see here the size of the laces. I like these laces, they feel robust enough. They aren't the thickest I've seen so far, but still they are great the way they are, to be honest. The thickness of these tips, I would say, is correct. I wouldn't say that it's too thin or too thick. In this shot we can have a better look of this knit and the tongue, which is gusseted tongue, as you can tell, half gusseted tongue, and I did like it, this kind of tongue. This material on the heel feels very soft, and I hope it's resistant enough to last over time. The thickness of this tongue is around 4-5 millimeters. Here I decided to make a small comparison with these Scarpa boots, hiking boots, because they have big lugs and I wanted to show you how big are these ones from the sneakers. Obviously the compound from the sole of the boots, it will be a lot superior in comparison with these ones, but still it's good to see that they have a good thickness on that sole. Here we can see the size of the insoles and the soles. You can also compare with other sneakers if you want. Just pause the video where you need, open a second window, and you'll find more on this channel. So if you are wondering How is that important? Well, knowing the size of those insoles and soles, you will know if you have enough room in the sneaker, and also if you will have enough stability with these sneakers. Wider is better, obviously, for that sole. Here we can see the weight of the sneakers. Surprisingly, they are lightweight. When you see that chunk of midsole, you will think maybe they will have some weight. Well, it's not too much, to be honest. In the next shot, we can see a comparison with my feet. This way you can see my arch and my instep. And also how they fit these insoles in this size. Which for me, it was true to size. Like I said before, I usually use that rule of thumb. If I have the space to put my thumb in front of my bigger toe, well, that's enough for me. I know that in this way I will have enough space inside without being too big for my feet. And if you cannot take out the insole, you can do exactly the same directly on the sneaker. You put the finger in front of the thumb, more or less where it is, and if you have space, well, you know, that's your size. And now I will take them on my feet in real time. For the right foot and for the left foot it will be speeded up, because I wanted to show you how easy or hard it is to take them on your feet. I'm doing this because not all the sneakers they have the same easiness to do that, you know. For some sneakers it's quite hard to do that actually, because they don't have the opening wide enough for various reasons. In this case it wasn't a problem at all. I mean, it's actually very easy because they have that gusseted tongue, half gusseted tongue, and I didn't find any problems with that. In this shot I'm trying to show you how much space I still have free on that toe box, and for me that space is enough. The width also is correct on the sneakers. I have enough room inside, so no pressure points because of that. And here, making some movement, I noticed that although the midsole is not as soft as Ultra Boost midsole in general, well, this one still have much better cushioning than any Ultra Boost that I tried so far, period. And if you are wondering how is that possible, well, in two ways. Having double the size of the midsole, and the second one, technology. They have that nitrogen inside, and that makes a huge difference, to be honest. How Adidas can prevent these things? Well, very easy. Don't cut that much in that midsole, because they are always cutting the thickness in their midsoles, and because of that they lose cushioning, obviously. You cannot have a midsole thin as a finger and expect to have amazing cushioning. It won't happen. It won't be at least okay sometimes because of that. Also, a thing to keep in mind that in Ultra Boost models, not all of them they have the same softness, because the Boost material, it has different softness from model to model. The cheapest ones, usually they won't be that soft, and more expensive ones, they will be softer, but that is not a rule though. This pair of sneakers, I really like it, to be honest. For the price that they have, 150 euros or dollars, this is very good, you know. This is very good sneaker and value for money in general. I am surprised. But yeah, they don't have reflective materials. I wish they were having some. Not a huge deal, but something to keep in mind. And now the time for pros and cons. Well, for pros, I like the silhouette, I like the cushioning, the comfort, I like the width on them. I like that rubber sole, which is a proper rubber sole. I can say that because you see how thick it is. 6 millimeters is very decent sole. This is how it's supposed to be all of the sneakers, in my opinion. I don't care if you want to run with them or not. Put them some proper soles like it used to be in the past. Other thing to keep in mind is that the price is quite okay for 150 euros or dollars. I'm not saying it's cheap because it's not, but at least you receive a good value for money, for that price. And the amount of cushioning and comfort, they do remind me a bit of more V3, so they are very good in my opinion. I've said more V3 from New Balance because those for me, they were benchmark in comfort and cushioning for a long time now, and since then I always wanted to find it something as good or even better if it's possible than those. Cons, I honestly now I have to think in what I could say about them not being okay. Maybe only that the sole could have been full rubber without exposed foam, but other than that, I don't know, maybe more colorways because they don't have too many. There are like 3 colorways right now here in Spain. And maybe to have some reflective materials also, but that's it. So they are perfect? No, obviously not. They can always improve just a bit more, be even more softer, more cushioning. I don't know. You can improve them if you want, but for the price that they have, Adidas can't touch them. You just can't touch them. These Adidas, they are 140 euros here in Spain and $140 in United States. So only 10 euros or dollars difference. And the cushioning in Brooks is 2 times better than the one from the Adidas. The comfort is just about the same. Maybe the Adidas has the edge because of the toe box. This one is textile material, and in Brooks is reinforced with some rubber because they are trail version, but the difference is very small. I only noticed because I had them both in the same time on my feet. I will end here this episode. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time. If you have any questions, please let me know. Don't forget to subscribe because it's so important for me, and be sure you won't miss the next episode. Those sneakers are great to amazing, and you have to see why. Take care of you and have a nice day.